Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Picks of the Week. Yeah, that sounded better in my head. Anyway, this week was inspired by the Arkadia project that was running up the top at Drive-Thru-RPG. And generally speaking, if I don't get some sort of suggestion from somebody out there, which by the way, I always welcome, you guys reach out and let me know if there's a theme that you want me to explore, a specific game product that you would like me to highlight that could then launch a theme. So I went with Arkadia because it's a hot seller. It's 5e ancient Greece, basically. Somebody creating all the material you would need to run an effective and fun campaign using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules in ancient Greece. So I decided to launch the Ancient World Redux Week, which basically means return to the ancient world for myths and legends to play with in your games. So Arkadia is one way to play in the ancient Greece world. If you want additional resources, I decided since I missed Monday to go ahead and do a double pick, and I picked Bash Fantasy, the Aegean bundle. So Bash is a primarily superhero game, but Bash Fantasy is a way to use those rules for fantasy with a slightly pulpy superhero bent to it. And this is another great resource. Again, both of these books I consider, no matter what game system you are running, these are great resources for world building and creating ideas. So there was Ancient Greece, which basically made up from Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, we decided to head into Ancient Egypt with Legendary Games Mythic Monsters Egypt. Now, they've got a whole bunch of these kind of mythic monster sets for different inspirations, some of which are based on real-world mythology and some of which are based on a more broad concept like darkness or whatever. This is designed specifically for the original Pathfinder game, and if you're still playing that, hey, awesome, this is going to be perfect for you. But more importantly, it's going to be a great resource for anybody who wants to translate and interpret really cool ideas from ancient Egypt into their games and their world building. Again, that's kind of what the idea for all of these projects are. And I look at them, and I'm running superheroes, but I like to pull gods and mythology into my superheroes games, so these are all really useful to me for my Prowls and Paragons campaign, for example. So the next day, we went on to ancient Mesopotamia with this book, this product called Caravan. I only use the title image because unfortunately the cover image that they posted up was too tiny and it just wasn't going to look right. So, hey publishers, a quick note to you: when you're posting up your cover images on Drive-Thru-RPG to promote and sell your PDFs, put a good quality cover image up so that those of us who are supporting your material will have something really nice to show in our rebroadcasts of your stuff. But anyway, Caravan goes to that classic idea that the original, and I mean the very first David Arneson Blackmore kind of role-playing mini war game kind of thing was about, which was here's a bunch of heroes escorting a caravan across dangerous lands. I mean, that was like the first concept of any kind of a role-playing game. But in this case, you're going across Mesopotamia, so you're dealing with ancient civilizations of that realm 5,000 years ago. It's dealing with the Babylonian myths and Sumerian and all those other kind of stuff. So that gets into a whole part of the world that people don't normally play with. Now, Caravan is done up for Savage Worlds True 20 and OGL, so there's a lot of useful stuff in there for different game systems. And again, it's going to be great for whatever system you're running because, hey, research. Now, this one's much more focused on an adventure than full-on world building, but it's going to give you a neat place to start. Then finally, we head on into Britannia and the ancient lands of Celtic mythology with, quite literally titled, Keltia, The Chronicles of Arthur Pendraig. This is a gorgeous game that is highly popular. It was done originally in French, but it's been translated to English. And it deals with a heavily Celtic mythology-influenced legend of King Arthur kind of thing. So it's going to really delve into that part of the time, 5th century Britannia, but getting into the ancient stories of the Celtic gods and all of that kind of stuff. And again, looks like it'd be a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to pull those elements in. And I just, as a bonus pick, decided to throw in GURPS Celtic Myth. The GURPS line of books getting into settings, into world, into real world and historical, as well as mythological and legendary stuff, It is a huge, unbelievable library of research material. I'm not a GURPS fan. I don't really like the game system. It's just not my thing personally. But I love having access to the GURPS books because the writers on these things did incredible research and they made it very gamerific. So it's not like you're trying to do like a deep dive master's degree program with this stuff, but it's solidly researched to give you something to hang world building on and say, I want to pull in Celtic mythology into my campaign. This book's going to really help you with that. So this is a great set of resources for GMs and those building worlds and maybe even writing fiction that might delve into these kinds of historical and mythological influences. So there you go, Ancient World Redux Week. I am always interested in your ideas. Feel free to drop me a line and let me know what kind of theme you'd like me to cover, or if there's a particular product that you would really love to see highlighted. I will remind you, as always, that thank you very much for clicking those links and buying those products, because I have the affiliate code linked in, and that means me and my family get a little bit of money to help, well, you know, pay rent and stuff. So thanks for that. And as always, game on and be good.